Okay, all you.
Okay. Welcome to Sierra Pacific Region Leadership Academy. I am past Governor Debbie Jensen, and I've asked my club member, Janice Minyard, to help me with the technical part. This workshop is being recorded, so clubs may retain the presentation for your new member orientations.
Sorry,
No, that's okay, yeah. In this workshop, we will answer the question, how can we cover it all? I'm going to wait till Janice finds out. It went away. Well,
Okay. Hang on just a second. Here it is. All right, you're up.
okay. So that was number one. Oh, okay. There you go. I really wanted you all to see this slide because this is the one that we actually made. In this workshop, we will answer the question, how can we cover it all? There is a wealth of information to impart, but think for a minute about your first year as a new seroptimist. It takes time to learn it all, so let's look at what's important using materials readily available to help us. Many of these slides are from the Seroptimist 101 PowerPoint available on the SIA website. Change. Start by scheduling a time to meet with your new members. I suggest that one or two members of your membership committee provide the orientation. Now, sit back, relax, and pretend you're a new Seroptimist member. I'm going to start your new member orientation right now. You might want to use a greeting similar to this. We welcome you to our club and to our organization. We're delighted to have more help providing education and training opportunities for women in our community. Begin with the basics. Our mission statement says what we're all about, and our vision sets the goals to achieve just that. We have over 100 years experience helping women and girls, guided by our mission statement. Now, this is a good time to clarify the structure of our organization. We are members of a club titled Seroptimist International of, we're Seroptimist International San Luis Obispo. The clubs are part of 3 districts and work together as a region, Sierra Pacific region. The regions make up a federation. We are Seroptimist International of the Americas. There are 5 federations. The 5 federations make up Seroptimist International. So now when you hear me say SIA, you'll understand that acronym. And SI is also easily understood because it's Seroptimist International. Change. Our years of experience have taught us that education is key to unlocking economic empowerment. Our programs have evolved over the years. Our dream programs, Live Your Dream and Dream It Be It, have helped over 100,000 women and girls reach their goals. We'll talk more about our mission-based programs. Not only do we grow professionally and personally, I love Seroptimist because I am able to work together with my club members to accomplish what I could never do on my own. Combining our time and talents, creating friendships, all add an extra membership benefit. The resources and support available from our SIA staff is awesome. Many women have joined Seroptimus because they learned about our Live Your Dream Award and want to be part of assisting women entering or re-entering the workforce to obtain the education and skills training they need to improve their employment prospects. Recipients are women, head of household, who provide the primary source of financial support for their family. The award gives them the opportunity to achieve their career goals, an opportunity they have not previously had, whether because of economic or social barriers or personal circumstances. Last year, our region had 100% in club participation, 111 awards given, totaling $179,900. An additional $21,130 was given to other programs, which we call Beyond the Cash Award. Change. If your club has a Dream It Be It program for local high school girls, you might enjoy helping. The curriculum consists of 7 sessions. Some clubs partner with school districts and other agencies. The sessions may be combined into a one-day workshop or presented individually. Topics include goal setting, dealing with peer pressure, exploring careers, and more. Okay, now it's time to share about your club. Explain your projects, committees, fundraisers, fines, anything that you do specific to your club and part of our organization's activities. Explain all of that to your new members. If your club has a membership yearbook with calendars, membership lists, club procedures, bylaws, etc., encourage them to see what's coming up and continue to update the calendar. Ask if they have any questions. Be sure to let them know you're available to answer questions later as they arise. Here's a tip. Make a note to contact them soon, maybe in 1 week, 2 at the most. Next. We've listed here some contact and information resources. Instead of my contact information, you're going to want to list your membership chairman or somebody in the committee that provides the new member orientation. And since this is being recorded, you have all this information, but I'll pause a minute in case there's something you might need to record. Okay, moving on. Our region website has an excellent new member orientation plan for a larger group. Check it out. You'll find helpful tips for one-on-one meetings too. This resource is kind of oriented to having a brunch or a luncheon, and it takes a little longer, but it's a perfect opportunity if you're bringing in maybe 4 or 5 or more members at a time. Most of this workshop is geared toward one-on-one when you have 1 new member or maybe 2. Okay, now we have a couple slides that talk about terminology that you'll be hearing. So remember, you're pretending to be a new member, and somebody might ask you if you got the Best for Women newsletter, which is now digital. At a meeting, it might come up about club giving. And most of us know about club giving, that we give a percentage of our fundraising to SIA to help fund the Live Your Dream Awards. And then convention versus conference. I've known the difference, but I say it wrong half the time. Region, conference, is within our regions. Convention is our federation and Seroptimus International. The new Dream Big campaign is a nice effort to get all of our members to pay a little bit of attention to the fact that we have committed to helping over 1,000 women and girls with our Live Your Dream Award. Dream It, Be It, we just talked about that. Founders Pennies, most of you know, that's something that most clubs give, and it's based on 6 cents a year. Janice the treasurer knows these things. For how many years we've been an organization. Laurel Legacy and Laurel Society are 2 donation programs. To belong to Laurel Society, you can sign up for monthly giving. And when you reach the $1,000 level, you are a Laurel Society member. Laurel Legacy is leaving Seroptimist in your will so that the programs can continue on. More terminology. We've heard about Live Your Dream. Shaping the Future is a plan where you find a checklist and you try to do as many of the projects as your club is willing in the areas of membership, public awareness, program, and fundraising. Seroptimist International, we covered that. The Seroptimist International President's Appeal takes place December 10th, and the international president chooses an agency or a project that she wants to help. And when I first became a member, we were very involved in removing landlines from areas that had been war-torn for quite a while, and they even employed women to do it and trained them very, very well. The SIA strategic plan is pretty much a goal type thing. It's something that we work toward, increasing membership, increasing our giving. Our region also has a strategic plan, and very often the clubs do too. What's new? That's kind of interesting. That's on the website, and I actually Googled, or kind of Googled it. I looked through the website and finally pulled up what's new. And it's just a little area where our various leaders let us know what's new with our organization and what we can be participating in and what we can do to help. Well, that pretty much ends the slideshow that we put together, the PowerPoint. We just want to thank you for being part of our dynamic organization and appreciate your time and dedication to the Seroptimist mission. So anybody with questions, you can use the raise your hand in your upper part of your screen.
Or we're small enough that we just.
Or you can just talk. We're easy.
I found it. I have a question. Well, I have a comment, actually. Not so much a question is, I don't know if clubs realize or not that one of our goals on our club roadmap is 85% retention. And we just recently got a report back from SIA on how all the clubs are doing on retention wise. But this is the first step, right? Is a good initial introduction to not just our club, but to the bigger picture of Seroptimist. And then obviously there's more to do from there, but this is kind of the first step in building or improving our likelihood of retaining members, especially new members.
And Maria has a question.
Okay.
You'll have to call on her.
Anne-Marie?
Hello.
Yes. How often would you suggest doing this? Like quarterly? Because would you do it every time you get a new group? Like quarterly or timing?
Well, in my club, we do it shortly after the member has been inducted. Sometimes, depending on scheduling, we might do it a little before or just a little after, but we just do it as needed.
Thank you.
Well, just for example, I know that Hanford's had a lot of new members just in the last couple of months. And they must have done something already because they've had like 6 new members.
I can respond to that. This is Maureen from SI Hanford.
Okay.
I think right now we have actually we've got a new member today. I think we're about 63 or 64 members. And we've had to start keeping spreadsheets on who's been inducted and who's been oriented. But my question, Debbie, is that we usually do our orientation before induction. Is that a problem or?
No.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anytime works fine. I've done a lot of research, and there are some clubs that have some very, very strict guidelines for bringing in a new member. And a couple of them do insist that they go through the new member orientation before they become members.
I want to say I really appreciate all of the material that's available on the SIA website, because we have incorporated quite a few of the slides, especially on the I can't remember now. I can't even remember the name of it. The big plan thing. But we have included quite a few of those slides, and also we think it's important to mention to our members the Commission on the Status of Women, Sir Optimus's participation at the UN, so that they see that we have a not just a local impact, but a global impact on how things affect women and girls. So thank you.
Oh, that's great. That's a great comment.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Even a comment that you'd like to share, something that's worked well for you?
I do. This is Debbie Triforos, Santa Clara, Silicon Valley. I just did our first orientation 2 weeks ago. We were able to get 5 new members over the summer, which was a lot. And I remember when I started, Debbie, I felt I had no idea what was going on. The acronyms, what everybody was talking about. I had no idea what any of it meant. I didn't understand the organization and how we reported in up to, international. So I put a binder together with, I downloaded stuff. I put our pledge in it. I put the org chart, our procedures, bylaws, definitions of our programs. And it was really successful. And it gave me a chance to meet with them one-on-one and answer a lot of questions they had, which made me think of more things to add to the orientation. And it opened up a line of communication. I've since gotten emails from a couple of them asking for clarification, or one of them volunteered for something already. So yeah, I thought it was great. I'm glad, I was able to do that, and I hope we continue it. So, but I'm going to use some of your stuff that you gave us today too. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, Judy, one question. How we didn't get a credit for membership, what'd you call it, retention?
Yeah,
And we didn't lose any members. So how did we not report something we should have?
I don't know. I noticed a few things on that spreadsheet that didn't look right. So I'll follow up on that, Debbie.
I'm just curious because it said we didn't get credit for that. And I thought, well, we didn't lose anybody. So
Judy,
Yeah.
that happened to Oakdale as well.
I noticed on our, like I said, we did do club giving, for example, which I know we did.
Yeah, we did too.
I'm gonna go over it with Charlie and
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
see what else. So actually that's helpful feedback. If you, any individual clubs see particular issues, let me know, or Charlie or both of us, so we can follow up on it. I was gonna add something, Debbie, kind of this, I've seen this in our club over the last 3 years. In fact, we get a new member that's really eager and ready to go and super enthusiastic, and then they end up with a job that they're not quite ready for, and then they quit because there's this danger of giving to people too much too soon because the enthusiasm is there. And I'm just wondering if other people are experiencing that, or, especially in clubs that maybe are smaller and, don't are looking for people to fill roles and how we can kind of guard against that. And that's part of why we're doing this leadership academy is trying to give people more resources and tools to prepare them to take on things rather than just asking them to do it and leaving them out there on their own. But if you have any thoughts on kind of how to embrace a super enthusiastic new member that wants to volunteer for a lot of things and avoid burning them out too quickly.
I think one thing is just to have the person in the outgoing office continue to mentor. I had to do that 1 year right after I was governor. Like, I became club president because we had a young woman that wanted to be president, but she needed a year. So I spent that year kind of mentoring her and helping her prepare agendas, things that she needed to do. And I don't think she'd have made it if I hadn't spent a lot of time with her.
Maria has a question.
One of the things that Hanford has done is try to document policies and procedures for like our major fundraising project, you know, what steps are taken. So we can pass that document along with a checklist of this needs to be done by this time. This needs to be done by this time, you know, that kind of thing. So it's sort of like a roadmap.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, because, you know, Oakdale's grown so much. And so we do have some of our newer members that are taking on the leadership roles for fundraising, say, for instance, and they were just asking for that. You know, they needed something, a guideline or, you know, and it's true because it could be that the member that chaired it right before that, she was on the newer side too. So, you know, so it was a really good point to learn that. And it's a good point to know, you know, that other clubs are coming up with a solution. I think it's a great idea. Because
Maria, did you have a question? Maria, do you have a question?
Oh, her hand's up.
Maybe
I think she's frozen.
frozen again.
Feels
Okay.
like frozen.
When she unfreezes.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, now
There you go.
Okay. Can you hear me now? Okay, perfect. It's hot outside my Wi-Fi. I think we need to really work on this aspect because when new members come into a club, I've been trying to recruit new people. And their biggest fear is they want to be in a group, but they don't want to be thrown into a leadership role so fast. So I think we need to work with our established members who maybe have never served in leadership and encourage them to serve in leadership to mentor the new members. And I think that'll help with new member burnout, and it'll also help with recruiting too. It's like we have these established members that are training their replacements. You work your way up instead of seeing that the last new person that was just installed is thrown into leadership.
Good idea. And starting off in a committee seems to be a good starting point. You learn a little bit more about that particular committee, you make some friends, and you learn more about your club.
They could co-chair.
Mhm.
They could co-chair.
Yeah, and coach, yeah. Anybody else?
A question from Maureen. Can you hear me?
Uh-huh.
What are some of the clubs doing as far as retention? Are you doing special events, social things like that?
We don't let them leave.
I'll speak to that. We actually have a committee that's organizing social events for our club because we do have so many new members, and so it's a way for you know, members to come together and do fun things without, you know, actually working on a committee or, you know, just socializing, getting to know each other and that sort of thing. So that's what we've done, and we
Tell them about the
retain members. I mean, we're, you know, with all the new members, it's a lot, you know, when a club grows so fast like we have the last couple of years. But it seems to be working here.
One thing our club has done that's been successful, we're one of the few that still meet weekly. And so if we meet on Tuesday, if there's a fifth Tuesday, we have a social. And we really try to make sure somebody
Hey,
we haven't
Siri.
seen for a while comes to
When
the.
I'm on Zoom,
What's happened? Go ahead. And it's really been a help. We see some people we just didn't see, for the last month.
Thank you.
But the online format, I think, because we're a new club, we're trying to work in with our business meetings, doing programs that are engaging, even though we're via Zoom. So that way it'll keep members engaged and give them some, because we're all in the Zoom setting. So that's a challenge we're working on. But once you start working on ideas, they seem to come out and it flows. So we're the pilot program this year.
Good. That sounds worth looking into.
Yeah, that's
Anybody
kind of what
else?
we've started doing. We're still not meeting in person, so we're kind of an online club ourselves. Hopefully not for too much longer, but that's what we've kind of started trying to do, Maria, is have a specialized program every month that hopefully will draw more attention than just the same old business meeting, because we only meet once a month.
Well, I'm surprised it's almost 7 o'clock. I figured we would, it just seems like it went so fast.
Yeah, turn it back to you.
But we have till 7:30 if anybody has more to say.
Debbie, I just would like to say that you do such a nice job with presentations, and tonight you're reminding me that you always do a great job with your presentations. You have such a wonderful, relaxed, and interesting way of speaking. Did you write some of your script tonight? Some of the
All of
things? Okay, fine. Yeah, it had the Debbie touch. So I am going to have to go back and copy it.
I'll send it to you.
But thank you. Oh, that'd be great. It
Yeah,
was a wonderful way of introducing the topics. PowerPoint is so dry. But yet when you can add that personal touch and the inflection and all that you do, I think it makes it more interesting for people. So thank you for that.
Well, thank you, Jan. You made my day.
I have to agree with Jan, Debbie. You did a great job. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nancy.
Yes.
I
Debbie,
have to admit, I jotted down talking points. I'm going to be stealing them for other speeches. You did a fabulous job.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think
I'll send the script to anybody that wants it. You have my contact information. Just ask me.
Pat Donahue recently told me she says that the Seroptimists have an unwritten law case, CASE, I think is
Yep.
the rule. Copy and steal everything. So
Yeah.
we're going to do a case on Debbie.
Well,
We laugh, but sometimes when I have to give speeches for other organizations and they ask me where I got my talking points or where I tell them, I'm in Seroptimist. You learn so much. It's so much than just being a member. And I'm not afraid to tell people that's where I got.
Yeah.
I don't think there's much worse than having somebody read a PowerPoint to you.
Oh, I
And
know.
so Janice and I loaded the slides, and then for each slide, we made notes about things that went with the slide without reading the whole slide. So
Yeah.
that's how it all came about. And I thank you guys that you like it.
Good job.
On a different subject, Ireland, did anybody go in and look at the registration?
I went and looked at it. I didn't register yet, but I went in and
Well,
looked at it.
Am I right that it's $525? Because they have it in there in
What's-
pounds.
455 is it euros?
Yeah, and I think that comes out to 520. I just was wondering if anybody else came up with the same number.
Ooh,
I was going to let MasterCard do the conversion.
I was gonna say we could play the watch the conversion rate game. I do that at work.
Yeah. Okay, just curious.
I hadn't done the math yet, Debbie.
Yeah. Just trying to figure out my budget.
It's still cheaper than waiting, I guess.
Yes.
All right, well, if there are no more questions, I'm gonna actually just stop the recording real quick. And then